All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about a really powerful but kind of little-known creativity technique that is getting a massive supercharge from AI. It's called Trisociation, and you know what? It might just completely change how you come up with your next big idea. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're just staring at a blank page, trying to come up with something new, something different, but you keep circling back to the same old thoughts. It's that classic creative block. But what if there was a system? A way to basically force your brain to make new, totally unexpected connections.
So, to see where we're going, we've got to start with a classic technique called bisociation. The whole idea, which was made famous by Arthur Koestler, is actually pretty simple but really powerful. You take two totally unrelated things, and you just smash them together to see what new idea pops out. Think about it. Phone and camera. That's a perfect bisociation that literally changed the world. But that's just the warm-up.
Now, let's level up to tri-association. So instead of two concepts, we're using three. Now, this technique has been mostly ignored throughout history, and for a good reason. Adding just one more concept makes things way more complex. But here's the thing. That complexity, that's exactly where the magic is. It unlocks this huge, wider spectrum of creative possibilities.
Let's put some numbers to this, because this is kind of wild. Okay, say you have a list of just 100 random concepts. Using the classic bisociation method, you get around 4,950 unique pairs to play with, which is a lot. But with trisociation, that same list of 100 concepts gives you over 161,700 unique combinations. I mean, that just shows you the massive untapped creative potential we're talking about here.
So if it's so powerful, why haven't we been using it all this time? Well, the simple answer is cognitive overload. Our brains just aren't built for it. I mean, think about it. If I ask you right now to invent something from, say, shoes, stones, and music, you'd probably hit a wall, right? It's like a mental traffic jam. Connecting three completely separate dots is just, it's too much for us. Well, until now.
And this is where generative AI completely changes the game. See, large language models, they don't have our human limits. They can juggle multiple concepts at once with zero cognitive overload. They don't have our built-in biases against ideas that sound weird or out there. And they've been trained on these ridiculously huge data sets, so they can find connections we would never, ever think to look for. AI is basically the key that finally unlocks this incredibly powerful technique.
Okay, so the AI can handle the heavy lifting, but how do we actually use it? This is where the technique gets really cool. It's not just some random idea machine. It's a tool that you can actually control. Seriously, think of it like tuning an engine to get the exact performance you need.
You are in complete control. The concepts you choose to feed it, they act like a dial. If you need some wild, out-of-the-box, breakthrough ideas, you combine unrelated concepts. If you need more practical, small improvements, you combine related ones. It is really that simple.
Let's walk through a real example. Imagine you work for a shoe company. Your main or focal concept is shoe. For maximum novelty, like crazy ideas, you'd feed the AI two totally unrelated words like table and butterfly. You're going to get some wild stuff back. For a more balanced approach, you combine shoe with one related word like grip and one unrelated word like butterfly. This is usually the sweet spot for real innovation. And then, for maximum feasibility, you'd use two related concepts, like grip and bounce, to get really practical ideas for just improving the shoes you already have.
Okay, the theory is great and all, but what does this actually create? Let's look at some really fascinating examples of what happens when you just let an AI go to town with three concepts. This is where it gets fun. Check this out. Let's take three completely random words: health, origami, and digital. I mean, what could those possibly have in common? Well, an AI might spit out a new venture idea, a digital platform that uses the calm, focused movements of origami as interactive exercises to improve mental wellness. That's a whole new business model, born from three words that have nothing to do with each other. What about a new product? Let's try combining vase, bee, and temperature. An AI could generate this: a smart vase with an internal structure that mimics a beehive, for optimal airflow, that actively adjusts based on the room's temperature to keep flowers fresh way longer. I mean, that is a legitimately innovative product idea right there.
Now let's circle back to that focused idea we talked about. Our main concept is shoes, and we'll throw in two unrelated concepts, bridge and compass. And the result? Maybe an idea for GPS-guided climbing shoes with a support structure inspired by a suspension bridge and a built-in compass for navigating tricky terrain. See? It's new, but it's still very clearly a shoe.
And this isn't just for inventing new products. The ideas behind Trisociation have actually been used in some incredibly memorable ads. You remember Mountain Dew's totally bizarre puppy monkey baby Super Bowl commercial, right? It was weird, it was unforgettable, and it was pure Trisociation. They just merged three unrelated things, a puppy, a monkey, and a baby, to represent the three main parts of the drink.
So how could a regular business use this? Well, imagine a local pizzeria wants a new ad campaign. They could take their main concept, pizza, and combine it with shark and music. The AI might generate visuals of a shark leaping out of a pizza like it's a record on a turntable, with a tagline like, "Dive into the flavor beat." It's different, it's memorable, and it definitely gets your attention.
So the power here is pretty clear. The question is, how can you actually put this to work for yourself? Well, it really just boils down to a simple 4-step guide.
First, you have to define your goal. Are you looking for a game-changing breakthrough or just a small, practical improvement? Second, you pick your concepts based on that goal. Go unrelated for novelty, related for practicality. Third, and this is absolutely crucial, you have to refine the output. The AI gives you the raw clay. It's your job as the human to sculpt it. And fourth, curate your ideas. Keep a running list of interesting concepts that can fuel future brainstorms.
And that really leads to the most important point of all. This technique is not about replacing human creativity, not at all. It's about augmenting it. AI-powered Trisociation is the engine that gives you the raw material, these unexpected starting points. But it's our human judgment, our intuition, and our creativity that's needed to spot the great idea in the noise and turn it into something real and valuable. So, the next time you feel stuck, try firing up this new creative engine. Pick a main concept, add 2 more, maybe one related, one totally random, and just see what happens. The possibilities are, and this is no exaggeration, pretty much endless. The only real question left is, what 3 concepts will you combine first?